Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the W400 BELLARIA gun settings video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some clear coat stages. I'll tell you the gun settings that I use to drop this clear coat down. Settings will be different to whatever clear coat you're using, what environment you're in, temperatures and things like that. This booth is running at 25 degrees, consistent. I brought the clear coat in from the paint mixing room, so it's sort of colder outside. Brought it in here, let it sit in here while I stack gun these panels off ready for clear, so it's slightly warming the clearer up. And when you warm clear coat up, it will change the viscosity of it. It'll make it thinner. The warmer it gets, the viscosity will go thinner. So if you can warm your paint up when you're in a cold environment, the better. Just sink your bucket of clear or whatever you've got into a warm bucket of water, or stand it next to a radiator for about 3 or 4 minutes. Let it warm up and that will help the flow. So the gun we are setting up today is the IWATA W400 BELLARIA, which is this one here. This is a 1.3 setup. The air cap on this, bear with me, I've not got my glasses. It says on the air cap, it is the W400, it is the BA4-2 cap. So you've got your 2 prongs on the front there, and then in the centre of that, you've got 2 little air holes to the left and the right at the centre of the needle where the needle is on the cap. To the back of the gun, you've got your 2 adjusters. This one here, I'm pointing at with my thumb, that is your fluid, and the top one there, that is your fan. So we're going to be going full fan on this, so you'll open that right out. And then on the fluid on the back, you've got some little dials there you can see which go round in numbers. We will be turning this out on the first coat. I usually go 2 1/4 on this with this clear that I'm using, and then I'll go about 2 1/2 to getting on just under 3 for the second coat. Air pressure, I start off around 2 bar. Have a look at it when I spray it out. I'll probably go just a little bit more than 2 bar on this. That's where I sort of find my swing spot as I'm painting. So we'll get some clear in it. I'll stick you on the cap can, and they're the settings I'll run, and you'll see how this clear coat goes down with this cracking gun, guys. So I'll see you in a minute. Guys, I'm going to set the gun up. I hope you can see that there. So we've got the first dial, which is 1 to the front here. Now I'm going to go 2 1/4 turns out, so we want that one there to be back at the top. So turn that all the way around, bring it back to the top, then we'll go that again. So that's 2 turns out, and I'm going to go 1/4 turn to there. And that's the first setting. That one's fully open. Air pressure, I just stick this just over 2 bar, and that seems to be nice on this gun. So we'll get some clear coat down. So that's the first coat on them two. The air pressure on that did jump right up. We were right up to nearly 3 bar on that. That's why that one was blasting out. But got a really nice flat finish on that, and then I dropped it down to 2 bar. A little bit more grainy on that, but this is the first coat. So I'll move on to these 3 and show you a bit more. That's the first coat down. I opened it up 2.5 on the fluid on the first coat. Air pressure, as you see, changed on this one. That was blasting it out. But we've got the first coat down. So the second coat will go a little bit slower, just wet it up a little bit more, open the fluid up a little bit more, and we'll be good to go. So when you're doing your panel, as you see when I do these panels, I always start sort of one way. I always start in here, get this edge here, work round, down there, work your way on the flat, and just keep your consistent going up on the overlay, going up, overlap, bring it down this way, and then start working your overlap coming in this way, like that. Drop the gun down to get this front edge, flick it up there to catch that edge, and then work your way across like that. Push a bit up there, push the wet across there, and you're just basically pushing the clear coat, the wet, and following it along. Come across the side, down, work this edge, and then work up or work that way. That's the way that seems to work good for me. You get comfortable doing these when you're doing these sort of every day. You get used to doing clear coating. So if you are starting out doing clear coat, get your gun settings right, get yourself a little test panel if you can, and just give it a go with the test panel. But the W400 is a brilliant gun for clear, nice and easy to set up. You can see where you're going. You probably can't see so much on camera because you'll see quite a bit of overspray, but when you're actually painting with it, it's got a nice sort of sharp fan. You can see the wet as you're moving along, you can see it, which makes it a lot nicer. Some of the spray guns that are out there, when you clear coat, they just baffle out loads of overspray, and it's hard to see where you're going. You're sort of looking across at it. With that gun, you can just basically look just slightly to the side, either way, and you can see where you're going. So we're going to let this flash off about 10 minutes. If you're put your first coat of clear down and you want to check your flash off times, if you've got masking tape near your clear, like we've got a bit here, you touch that, and when that goes sticky and stops stringing up, that one's slightly pulling. You want it sticky like masking tape, that sort of stickiness, and then you'll be good to go for your next coat. It gives your clear coat something to grab hold of. if you put it on when it's really like pulling away on that masking tape and it's stringy, you'll probably end up running it, getting sags and things like that. So we'll give this a little bit longer. I'll just chuck you back on the cap cam, run you through another little bit of clear, and then we'll wrap this one up. So we're using the W400 IWATA BELLARIA. It's a very old gun. These are coming in at around 245, 250. You probably can get them cheaper through eBay. I'll leave a link in the description to a good site where you can get these guns and you can get spares, and the other IWATA range as well. They do the full spectrum of guns, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. But recommended, guys. Yes, it's a great gun. It's been around for a long time. It's got all solid internals, so when you come to clean it, you've got no baffles to take out in between the air cap and the nozzle cap. It's all solid, so you can just chuck these through a gun wash and they will last, guys. This is a 2018, that's when I got it, so it's a few years old now, and it's absolutely perfect. Never skipped a beat, works all the time. This is my go-to clear coat gun when I'm in the studio. We usually use DeVille blisses in here. I've used a DeVille bliss this morning for the base coat and usually use one for the clear coat, but I've decided just bring that in. It's more comfortable, lighter gun, and I think it puts down, me personally, an easier, better finish than the DeVille bliss. So I've seen a minute when these are flashed off, and we'll get another bit of clear now. So for the second coat, these are flashed off. About 10 minutes on these. I've opened the gun up a little bit more, so we'll go around the same way and get this next coat on. Smashed the clear out with the W400, opened it up and gave the second coat a nice coat of clear. So that was the first one, so that one's flashed out the most. So nice flat coat, nice and glossy. That's how it drops it down, guys. Real good gun for clear coat. They do other versions as well. I think they do one for water base coats, but these will drop solvent base coats down really nice as well. I've not tried it for solvent base. I'll just use that as a dedicated clear coat gun. But a brilliant gun by IWATA. I use their airbrushes and they're second to none as well, and the spray gun's excellent. So that's the final coat of clear. I hope you've enjoyed this video on the settings for the BELLARIA. and I hope they work for you. Just get your gun settings right. It all depends on what clear you're using as well. Them settings work for me good in here, this temperature with this clear coat, and they're the sort of finishes I'm getting. So enjoy your W400, guys. I know you will. I enjoy it every time I use it. Glad I got one. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get them from. So yeah, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, press that notification, give us a thumbs up if you're liking the content, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.